you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today for this special event. Today's launch for us is not just about building coming up with a product. It's about a promise that we are to deliver. And that is where we are building a stable future for loved ones with special needs. As we all know, caring for our loved ones is not just about affection. It's about putting processes in place. It's about planning. It's about structure. And most importantly, it's about providing security for your loved ones. So for us, this is why we are unveiling a solution. And what does this solution do? For tomorrow. Before we go ahead, please join me as we recognize our Deputy Group Managing Director, Mobo Olasoko. We would also like to recognize our Managing Director, Meristem Trustees Limited, Damilola Hassan. With us here, we also have other members of our executive management team. With the support and the love of each and every one of us here, we're able to make, and your leadership and guidance, today's planning has become a success. And for that, we say a very big thank you. Now, to all our esteemed guests as well, both here in person and those that are joining virtually, your presence here together just shows that together we can come together and we can create solutions. Solutions that not just about managing wealth, but solutions not just for managing wealth, but also solutions that can truly impact and can change lives. So with this, let's dive in. Let's give it the right energy. We're all coming with one goal and with the same purpose. And with the excitement, once again, we say welcome and thank you for joining us today for this beautiful event. For our esteemed guests who have joined us online, please note that we have a dedicated team. Start by letting us know which part of the world you're joining us from, because we are really excited to have you on board. And if you have any inquiries, please just drop them in the chat box and we'll have our team immediately attend to it. If you would like to use the restroom, it's right on your left. You have the male, you have the female section. If you would like refreshments, it's right in front of you on your table. Please just dive in and get to it. And with this, I will just be excited to call in our Chief Operating Officer, Benjamin Amans, to come and take us through the next stage of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Abimbola, and thank you once again, in person and online guests. It's a pleasure to have you here with us as we navigate our theme, building a stable future for loved ones with special needs. In order to appreciate our team, it's important to appreciate a few key elements in this theme. Loved ones, we all have them. We have parents, we have a father, we have a mother, we have children, we have a ward, even a friend. Sometimes our loved ones, without our choosing, are people that are unable to thrive without consistent and customized support and care. This could range from an octogenarian father in a gerontology clinic to a child with unique needs. Despite our love and affection for loved ones with special needs, we do not control the hands of fate. The harsh reality is that at some point, we may not always be available to provide the consistent and customized care that these loved ones with special needs require. What happens when a benefactor who has been setting aside funds for orphans passes away? What happens when the child to an octogenarian at a gerontology clinic fails to, due to incapacity, be available to make sure that those funds are made available to the upkeep, for the upkeep of such a parent? What happens when the parent to a child with unique needs passes away? The key concern is, how do you sustain the lifestyle, the health, the education, the welfare, the well-being of a loved one with such special need? Case in point, special need looking at my examples goes beyond just children with unique needs. It expands to members of our society that one way or the other are vulnerable or may not be able to thrive without certain specialized care and support. However, despite how grim this scenario I've painted may be, there is a solution, a viable solution that circumvents the mortality of a benefactor, a parent, a child that is saddled with the responsibility of taking care of a loved one with special needs. Imagine an arrangement whereby an entity that is not subject to the laws of mortality is unable to pass away due to demise, is unable to be incapacitated in the hospital, assumes the responsibility of doing two key things. Number one, managing the funds set aside for a loved one with a special need. Number two, ensuring that the clear intentions of a benefactor, whether it's a parent, whether it's a child, whether it's an organization, a charitable organization, for instance, are carried out in the best interests of the beneficiary, which in this case would be the loved one with a special need. And this is where Meristem comes in, and this is why we are navigating this theme this fine morning. Now, to take us further in this conversation is a distinguished panel of seasoned practitioners in fields that are pertinent to the subject matter today. Prior to jumping into that, there's a need to recognize the fact that the benefits of a trust in relation to loved ones with special needs is dear to our hearts, and hence the need to launch a product that has been tailor-suited to ensure sustainability with respect to the upkeep and maintenance of the lifestyle of a loved one with special needs. To jump into this subject matter, I'll be calling my colleague, Aisha Adejumo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome, everyone, again. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. This product launch is very dear to us because this is beyond a product. This is a solution. So we hold it very dear. And we are honored to have you here today. Thank you so much. So ideally, we should go straight into the panel session, but we're having a little bit of delay with traffic. So we would bring forward the product launch. We would have the product launch first, and then we'll have the panel session after. So I'll be calling on my beautiful, amazing, brilliant managing director, Damilola Azan, to unveil the product.
I know you've heard good morning from different people. Like how many times already? Allow me to add mine to it. Good morning, everyone. Please now, I'm giving birth to a baby today, so greet me like you will greet a woman in labor. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. So we're really very excited to have this special launch today. I know walked in and she had to ask me, is this how you launch every product at Meristem? And I said, oh, not exactly, but this is a special one. It's dear to our hearts, like you've heard Abimbola and Benjamin say. Because it's a response to pain points. You know how over the course of doing your job, you are interacting with clients, you are having conversations, and they have things heavy on their hearts, and they can't but share with you. You have clients talking about their vulnerable children who totally depend on them, to have a quality life. And the question on their minds are, what will happen to this beautiful soul if tomorrow I sleep and I don't wake up? What will happen to this laudable not-for-profit that I have established that is catering to certain individuals with certain vulnerabilities? And if I'm no more to run this, if I'm not available or I'm suddenly incapacitated, what then happens? What happens to the dream, to this vision? What happens to everyday execution? So in response to some of these concerns, we decided to put together this product, the Special Needs Trust. I start with some case studies just to bring some context to our conversation today. Mrs. Grace, a 48-year-old mother, of course, hypothetical, but they are very close to truth because these are, we had to try to tell some of the stories that we've encountered. She's a 48-year-old mother of 3. Her second child was born with special needs and, of course, requires extra care and financial support throughout his life. For years, Mrs. Grace has been the primary caregiver, as you would expect, ensuring Daniel's medical, educational, and daily needs are met. Recently, she was diagnosed with a serious health condition. And then she started to worry about Daniel's future. Who would provide for him if she's no longer available to do that? How can she ensure that the funds set aside for Daniel's care, upkeep, accommodation, education, medical needs, whatever, how can she ensure that? Because sometimes it's not just about money. How do I ensure that even this money that's available really is not misused and is taking care of the need that it's meant to? Then there's also the issue of, there are other family members, there are siblings. And again, maybe there's another parent, who is not as enabled, whatever resources whatever it takes, to care for a beautiful one with vulnerabilities. You're wondering, are they able to really just pick up from where I stop? So in this case, Daniel, he has siblings, but can I expect that his siblings will put in that same quality time and everything? To be fair to them, they have their own lives to live, right? They have their families, they have everything going for them. And again, like I've heard a number of my lovely Gen Zs say, it's not my life, it's my life. You can't dictate to me, or you can't tell me to drop my own vision and everything for, yes, I love you, but I'm not going to, put my own life aside to take care of you. And they don't mean any harm. It's just what it is. So that brings us to this product, as the Special Needs Trust. It's, again, let me give you a little bit of context about how a trust arrangement works. A trust arrangement is such that you have a legal platform, a legal avenue to pass on assets that you own to specific beneficiaries while you are alive, especially, in a manner that those assets can pass on to those beneficiaries the way you want it to, when you want it to, without the hassles of them having to go through probate or go apply to the court to access those assets when you're no more.